Okay, I am ready. Good luck. Have fun.
Good luck once again.
3, 2, 1, go.
You were saying something about the all bosses as an alternate win condition?
1 second.
Yeah. Playing as Richter, understandable.
What?
It is also just insane how much the starting damage stacks matter.
Yeah.
That's like one thing that I'm surprised nobody else has like ever brought up or complained about.
What do you mean? For randomizer?
Yeah,
I mean,
for like randomizer races.
because we're used to it, I guess.
Maybe, yeah. Everyone just accepted the like. Well, I got bad stacks, I guess.
That's awesome to hear, man.
Most
guess I'm just
non-runners
gonna be
don't
shit.
have
Or woman.
an optimal.
If you have any questions, just ask away. I'll be happy
I
guess
to
that's
answer
what it
any questions you have.
Does anybody know if it'd be possible to kill Richter, but instead of triggering the bad ending, it just lets you go to the second castle? That's probably possible.
Probably.
Because with the new load zone, like manipulation stuff, like that seems very possible. But it would probably be a lot of work. I also don't know how
Yo, Conflictor, what's up?
interesting that would be.
No. Well,
Did you fuck it up?
yeah, I bumped.
Oops.
Well,
Wait, can I buffer it with a level up? You can buffer it with a level up? That's insane. Just do the correct experience route, and you can buffer the jump through the level up on the third warg.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wait. Wait.
The trick is
So
so
it's like
free.
Super free. Like what the?
Yeah, it's
why?
ultra mega free. You buffer the jump and then buffer the untransform. You don't have to time shit. You just have to kill do the same experience route you would do for doing
Which you would do
neutron
anyway
bomb
if you,
skip, yeah.
unless you're doing something weird.
If
All
you
I do is just I
dash,
just dash immediately from the
yeah,
start.
if you dash immediately and skip all the zombies, you won't get that level up. Maybe you could untransform and then kill like a bat or something, but even then, I don't think it's worth the time investment.
How would
really.
you skip all the zombies though?
Because you're dashing faster than the zombies spawn.
Also, you delay. Like, what do you do then?
I just shield dash through the room.
Oh, you shield that.
Yeah, I was like, I forgot we were playing Lycanthrope, so I just played it. No.
Then it's not worth it then.
I'm saying for
it's not
people
like
that
it's
are
difficult otherwise.
No, I'm saying for people
fair.
who are babies.
Yeah. Okay.
Like ultra mega baby weenie hut junior strats, you could just kill the wargs, kill 3 or 2 zombies, and then level up buffer the jump. I wasn't expecting the level up to happen because I forgot that we were playing Lycanthrope, and then I was like, oh shit, I guess I should start dashing.
Misses? Holy shit. I got low profiled.
Oh yeah?
You know what? I'm gonna spoil something because it's really hilarious considering what just happened. I just got a $400 drop.
Huh.
I think I got one as well. I can't remember.
Wait,
but that means
what?
that it's an item drop from an enemy and not like a random drop.
Okay, I'm gonna share what happened to me as well. So I did the. Am I loud or am I muted?
You're loud. We hear you.
Just really fucking quiet.
So, well, I'm sorry about that. I tried to fix it, but
that's okay.
I turned you up on my end, so you're good on my end.
Anyway, I did the shield rod spell on Slugger and Gaibon, and it despawned. Like the spell disappeared.
That can happen sometimes. With like too many sprites on the screen, I want to say, but I've never seen it at Slugger and Gaibon. But I've never tried to kill them with it. Really, I don't think very often, at least.
That was so weird, man.
Even when it comes to randomizer.
Yeah,
did it happen after a level up?
That's a good question, and the answer is probably yes.
It happens if you use that spell in the what's it called? Is my wolf sprite fucked up? Hold on.
Dude, everything's fucked up.
My wolf's butt was like a darker color than it's supposed to be, I think. Unless I'm smoking crack and I'm finally seeing the correct color for the first time. Anyways, if you do it in the room with the flea armors, it'll despawn in that room, like, pretty consistently.
Interesting.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's
But again,
like a backup strat and glitchless if you don't have enough hearts to stop watching that room. You can do the spell, but it doesn't like actually kill everything in the room. Oh fuck, I'm bad at this game. You could smoke crack and still be colorblind. FYI. Alright, good to know.
Okay.
No, my sprite was fucked up. Oh, you know what it is? The fucking sword disappeared, I think. On the wolf's back.
Oh, that was a bad idea.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I did some like somewhat weird movement with the wolf and then it disappeared. Yeah, if my stream's lagging, it's probably on my end, guys, because my ISP doesn't like using more than 2 kilobits per second if it doesn't have to.
So yeah, so the all bosses thing, completely possible. Someone would just need to, that's more smart at programming and assembly needs to
Just find the part of the game that keeps track of the bosses.
No, that's known. That's all that is known.
You would just have to write the code that would be injected. That would be like if all boss is dead.
An efficient check just needs to be written, basically.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
because
that
you need
makes
to
sense.
check so many things, and and you have a limited space. Just for
Oh,
code.
that's something I didn't
You
realize.
need to find somewhere to put it,
Inside the game.
and
Oh,
you can only
yeah.
put code in like empty space. It's a
Okay.
little weird how.
So sorry, I haven't
Patches
been
like
paying
that
attention to
work,
chat because I was busy either focusing or
Again,
talking to these
it comes
guys.
down to the fact
And
that
I'm really bad at
the
multitasking.
game is not.
So your current time is low
repackageable
46 glitchless,
currently.
70%. Some friends say this time is excellent.
Okay,
but
so
I
that is
feel
going to be
you
more
can
of an
stop
issue
40
than I
easily.
thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because you can't
with
just
consistency, you can get a really good time.
wherever you want.
Yo, Shaky,
Like,
what's
that's
up?
The thing.
No, you're the big guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's why
You're the
we
big
can't
Johnson.
like insert more like enemies, for example, in an area, because it's a set file size and you can't fuck with.
Yeah, that's
Being busy,
understandable then.
as always. Or
That
as
may
usual, as
change
of late.
soon, though. We'll see.
But
I
I've
mean,
been
yeah,
fine,
new stuff is
thanks.
getting found all the time.
Yeah, it's been accelerating more and more.
Which is very nice.
Huh.
But I don't think it's that big of an issue that it wouldn't be possible.
Damn
I
it.
think it should be small enough to be done, but I don't think I'm proficient enough in assembly to do that. I know everything that needs to be checked and toggled and written as code, but I don't know like where to write that or what the smart jumps would be and stuff like that.
That's fair.
But that's an entirely figured out thing. But I don't know, like the insert. I don't know if you read the insert part of the preset files, but maybe the way Mouse does it, that's just always.
Dude, I'm so rusty. I'm feeling like all this basic movement.
Yeah, maybe you could fit in there. I don't know. I do know what you're talking about. I don't know the functionality of all that stuff. All I've done is opened up a bunch of different preset files and just kind of like read through them to like understand
Nice,
the
but needed.
formatting of it.
This, though.
I'm sure there's like a reference page somewhere to like help understand it better as well that I just missed.
I mean, you basically just have.
Please win. I'll try.
Preset,
Shaky.
The first thing that's important is what
Oh, by
it
the way, I
inherits
need to-
from, which is if it inherits safe, all the rules from
Attack
safe
potion,
are going to be
that's good.
inherited into that new preset.
Yeah.
So that's an unless you're running something really wacky,
So
that's
we're
gonna
going back
be
to
always the
Colosseum.
starting point. You just pick something to inherit everything from, and then you just change the exceptions to those rules, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
that would have been
exactly.
handy.
And
There was
main
nothing
things
to
would
use
at
in
the
the
be-
very
shop.
bottom. Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just going to reiterate that like my idea was the Jewel of opening up some shortcuts to help with some routing, and the bosses being a check as well, like a win condition, as well as the
Yo, that was stopwatch.
Vlad relics themselves to create like. At the very least, even if you waste a bunch of time killing a bunch of bosses that didn't lead
Oh, do you know anyone
to true
who
progression, you could then
still
change your
speedruns
strategy,
glitchless?
like in the middle of the
I
run, to be like, well,
do
okay,
not. I
well,
think
I
maybe
still need 2 Vlad relics,
might
but I only have like
attempted
6
to run
bosses
the game
left, so it
like
might be
once
more
or twice
efficient to
against
switch my
individual
idea
world record.
to fighting all the bosses instead of trying to find these last couple of Vlad relics.
No.
See, unfortunately, those types of changes are all pure code injection.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And at least there is a system now for code injection. I don't know if you
Come
saw it,
on.
but some of the presets, especially the new ones, just have it.
Yeah,
at the
I saw
bottom.
at
You
the
just
bottom.
put- it's ace, basically.
Yeah.
It's forced ace. You can think of it that way.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just that it's a little bit more complicated.
I figured it's going to be complicated to implement these ideas, but I know that they're like technically possible. So that
Absolutely,
has me like interested in wanting
Yeah,
to
Shaky, I
develop
know.
some of these
I've been
ideas
told
more
that,
and
but I
see
don't
them
really know how to fix my
implemented.
audio, so it's gonna have to be like.
Because I think gameplay-wise, it would
unfortunately.
be a very big shakeup, and could
My
lead to
apologies.
more diverse routing, diverse gameplay ideas, stuff that would just be better overall for races and the community. But we'll see.
Oh, I'm
Does this work?
stupid. I'm a
It does not
stupid
work.
Bitch.
It doesn't work. Why did I try this? I should have known.
Oh yeah, I know, but the thing is, like, on my end, everything sounds perfectly.
Oh yeah, the hitbox.
I'm not really hearing them
I was surprised to hear that.
too loud.
How just how unintuitive it is.
Yeah,
Emotions with the keyboard.
it's pretty different. Like when a lot of the time what ends up happening for me is I'll want to test something, or I'll want to make a save state, or like get a screen cap from the game for like a YouTube thumbnail, and my controller's not plugged in, so I just have the keyboard control set up and I play on keyboard for a little while. And when I first started doing it, it was definitely a big like it was difficult at first to like, I can't even wing smash and stuff like that. But now
it
it's
took me a long time to be able to wing smash.
Yeah.
But it was still not unintuitive.
Yeah, I think
it was still intuitive. Is what I meant.
I think there are certain things like in fighting games that are just slightly like different. Like I still don't have muscle memory for doing like dash macro by like negative edging the inputs.
I never did that.
Yeah. But like that's like obviously important for fighting games for a lot of different reasons and stuff like that. But
it can be. Yeah, I mean.
So I feel like stuff like that is unintuitive because you're like pressing left to dash right and vice versa. But other than that, I don't think it's that hard.
The main thing is how he says that you shouldn't play characters with half circles, which I just don't think circles are. I think a half circle is really easy to do.
I honestly think half circles are fine on keyboard like WASD, but hitbox makes it more awkward because the jump or up button or whatever is like on your thumb.
Well, but most half circles in fighting games are down.
Yeah, I think that's fine because you're just rolling your fingers from one side to the other.
Yeah.
Especially in like a pure fighting game sense where you could skip the diagonals if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Is there a way to practice unbuffered death skip? Just do it buffered. You don't need to worry about unbuffering if you're doing speedruns in the game.
Oh, I get it.
Why?
You know, I think a lot of people do stuff that see top runner do before realizing why. Just do it buffered. If you practice it buffered and get it first try buffered all the time, then you can just go for it unbuffered, and it's basically the same timing.
I got fucking owned by the weakest enemy in the video game.
Really?
I need to talk to Dinner Dog.
You say
I need to
talk to Fire a few times.
info dump on him so that he makes a video about the input system of SotN, but with his
it's just getting used to
way
the
of
game.
explaining it.
Yeah.
It's just superior. Because I can explain it technically, but he's gonna convey it way better.
Yeah, that's why education and communication is a separate skill than just being smart.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's completely, it's invaluable, really. Yeah.
Which is my situation. So
yeah, I don't think I'm necessarily.
I think
like
there's still so many misunderstandings about how the game fucking works, which
all the time, yeah.
Like we're talking about diagonal grab the other day, and people still don't get why it works.
Well, yeah, it's because the crouch prevents you from walking. That's like the only thing.
Yeah.
But I can understand why people think like the input is the secret sauce. The secret part of it is like, oh, it's the input that's doing it all. It's like, no, like it's not like the game is reading the input and saying like, aha, you solved my riddle. This is actually how I want you to diagonal gravity jump it. No, it's abusing the fact that like the input is still being done properly, but because you're not going into the walk animation, it prevents the part where like the game locks you out of gravity jumping because you can't gravity jump while walking.
Yeah, in this case, it was a misconception that the input was down, up, down, down, forward, which is not the case. The input is just down, up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the input. So you just add on top of it to go forward, but the only way to do that is to also hold down so that the game actually lets you gravity jump.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm stupid. Fuck.
Simpler than what people thought. Oh, okay, yeah, this is a topic I wanted to talk about, actually. So,
What am I doing?
I was talking about a podcast, I think last time we were in a race, that I've been watching, where a bunch of devs played Building for a Person.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about that.
And they described the motion inputs in the game, because they're not fighting game players, as combo inputs, which is very interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I would typically, so I have two actually different answers to that. First of all, that's terrible when it comes to if you want to convey what's actually going on to a new player, especially in a fighting game. I would much rather say motion input.
Yeah. I mean, the terminology already exists.
It sounds way more inaccessible to say it's a combo input. That sounds just way too complicated. But if someone comes in the race in the speedrun channel for this game, combo input is kind of more accurate for what the game wants you to do.
Yeah.
Because it's not really a motion input like in a fighting game. It's a combo of exact directions that just end up forming a like a motion because they're connected. But not even always the case, because you know the spells, some of them like Summon Spirit, it's not even connected in any way.
Yeah, it like reads that you've turned around as like the back input part or something. I don't know. I don't get it personally.
Even if we ignore that, it's back, forward, down, up, which is not a fucking motion.
Yeah.
So, wait, that's how we do this? Nope. What the fuck? I've forgotten everything.
I'm glad you're warming up today. Did I? I'm not paying attention to the video game at all, to be honest. I'm kind of just on autopilot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's how you play SotN, right? Autopilot, 100%.
That's how I prefer to play SotN.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Interesting. What you're suggesting, Bob, is technically possible. However, nobody is even close to developing a like multiple game randomizer like Zelda 3 and Super Metroid for this game. Like, we are probably years away from something like that being possible, practically.
Like a multi-world?
Yeah. Yeah, like the idea of like switching between games to progress in each game.
I mean, it's possible. It's just that there's so much logic. That's the main thing.
There's a lot of
The
logic
logic
as
is
well as
cumbersome.
programming the games to like function between each other and like actually give you proper functionality between the games, and then doing it in a way that's on the same what's the word I'm thinking of? Not production, but like same level of conveyance, same level of like there's added sprites and shit for Zelda 3, Super Metroid Randomizer and shit like that. Like that's stuff that I don't think we are gonna get to anytime soon. Like I would say we're probably like 5 years behind, if not more, what those randomizers are able to do. But to be fair, the ROM hacking scenes for those games started like 10 years ago. So we're kind of catching up.
I mean, there's just roadblocks that are different for PlayStation. Kind of the main
Yeah.
thing.
There's a reason why you don't see a lot of PlayStation games with like full-scale ROM hacks. There's very few. What game would you even combo with SotN? I mean, you can pick anything you wanted, really.
I mean, optimally, it would have to be PlayStation.
Yeah. And there's not very many PlayStation games that I think would fit the bill. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's the first thing, yeah. Because switching to a different system makes things, you know, more problematic.
Yeah, you'd be forced to like use BizHawk and then communicate a lot of stuff through BizHawk specifically, or whatever multi-core randomizer of your choice.
You would do that anyway, regardless. But
well, I mean, the Zelda 3 randomizer, Zelda 3 Super Metroid is like
it's just a ROM.
It's a ROM, yeah.
Yeah,
but that's because SNES ROMs are so much more malleable.
I think there's no fucking way we do that, like ever, because we're limited by the CD.
Yeah. There might be ways around it. Like that was the case for Smash Brothers ROM hacking for a very, very long time. It was limited by the space on the CD, but there are ways around it now, but those ones seem incredibly specific to Nintendo's like architecture with the GameCube. But yeah, like it's very unlikely.
Probably ways, yeah, but
I think Spyro would be good. Have you played a Spyro game? What are you gonna unlock in Spyro from SotN?
I mean, in an ideal world, we want DS games. Really, that's what we want.
Yeah, ideally it would be other Castlevania games.
And luckily, that's now both cores are on BizHawk, so
yeah,
there's access. It's just that switching systems may potentially be a problem. I mean, it will just work very differently. For one, it won't be a ROM; it will be a tool that controls it in some way. It's not necessarily a problem. I mean, I can make a kind of multi-world. I've had access to do that for a while, but it wouldn't be as...
It wouldn't be to the same scale, and it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah. Mainly because of logic, I would need to be way more familiar with the other game, whichever one it is. And I'm just not.
Fair enough. Yeah, like I think a lot of people get very excited when they see the game gets modified even a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, baby, that means we can do full scale like modifications and ROM hacks however we want." And it's like we're not there yet. We're really not.
I mean, think about how long it can take for a seed that's one complexity higher right now.
Yeah.
I don't know how
That's
to
another
game for
thing.
that.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna take a long time just to generate the seeds, let alone.
unless
Yeah.
there's compromises, which is I'm guessing what they do in other games, like the
Yeah, they
way in
probably.
DS games they just say fuck it, have library cards or magical tickets, whatever. So
That's fair. Yeah, that's another. That's another part to keep in mind is like the larger in scope you want to make your project, the more compromises, yeah, you're gonna have to have as well.
really video game.
Does this work? Yeah, we're fine.
Oh, come on.
Why did I do that? Fucking dumbass.
But yeah, I would say if you guys are excited with all the new developments, is just stick around, wait, stay patient, and stuff will develop over time. We've already just seen an exponential amount of growth in people interested in working on decomp and stuff like that.
I just hope to see more collaboration
Yeah,
in
that
that sense because
I
don't
keep
know,
trying to
I-
point everybody to the same direction, which is the ROM hacking section of the Discord. Anytime someone brings something up that
Yeah,
I'm
but-
aware of,
sure, and there are people that go there and speak and all that, but
I am hoping that does.
why
lead
is it
to more
so
people.
common that someone shows up and they know a bunch? They're like, "Oh yeah, I found this, this, and this, and this," and I'm like, "Okay, well, is this documented anywhere?" No, because I'm working on my own thing. Well, cool. Like,
Might as well
so it's not
document it.
useful to
So
fucking anyone.
yeah, just document it somewhere.
Or just make a pull request to any of the projects that already exist
Yeah.
instead of just like. And like, yeah, like I'm not. I know I'm not experienced and like very versed in all this shit. So my projects aren't ideal, but why has no one been doing pull requests on the API or using it really? Like I don't get that.
I don't get that, but that's also because like I don't get that. Like what do those words mean?
Just
So basically,
Making
when you want
additions
something
to the-
changed, yeah.
Oh, like you're saying.
expanding it with more. So the API is just basically a collection of properties that can be edited from the
Mhm.
game RAM. The ones that I've been put, the ones I have put are the ones that I've been using for all the shit that I've been doing.
Uh-huh.
And the whole point is because instead of doing a memory map on one of the ROM hacking websites,
I
I
agree.
just put
But
absolutely everything there.
Yeah. I'm hoping over time that does become a more common occurrence then. Especially, hopefully the communication on the Discord leads to stuff like that.
It's definitely infinitely better than it has been ever. So
Yeah, I think it's
That's
trending
really good.
towards it just being better in the future, so that's good. Because I don't think there's going to be any developments from any other like third parties at this point that are going to happen.
what do you mean third party?
Well, like at least as far as I'm aware, like I don't think someone else is going to go out of their way to try and make SotN again, basically. Or to like try and modify SotN in a way that like we're already doing. I say we collectively, as in like the people that are
I mean,
currently
there's
working on
been
it.
like several new people, so
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like people who are holding out project for like the hacked project or whatever, or like
I mean,
or
that's,
Konami, God
that's
forbid.
already like not even relevant because it's not
Exactly.
the same engine. It doesn't matter. He can do whatever he wants, but that's not SotN at all anymore. So it's not contributing to anything. It's just Mugen. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, those will obviously, like, I don't know. I think people just get way too excited, like I said earlier, about the prospect of things coming to be much faster than is reasonable without realizing
Yeah, Compact,
why.
I think the time you save with Wolf is like underestimated most of the time.
Or they'll conflate certain projects together.
Because you don't even need to
Like
save state with
the SotN demake for
with Wolf
Sega
already.
Genesis is a thing, so why can't you do something completely unrelated? So why can't we randomize enemies?
It's just a guy making a game with sort of SotN looking asset. That's all that it is, and it's still cool, but it's
just
basically
unrelated.
Doesn't have anything to do with SotN.
I think people misunderstand that
game.
because it's SotN adjacent that.
But like, what would that include?
It's somehow
like,
related.
Local, I mean not local, but online multiplayer. Like, oops.
There's a newer version of the best debugging
Check delays
emulator
30 seconds to a
for
minute. You
PlayStation.
might
Recently, it seems like
try
a group,
refreshing. That should work. Especially if you're on
started
mobile.
working on
Mobile's
it again,
terrible
'cause
for
it had been abandoned for
delay.
many years. And they
Or
are
that could
only
just be my
missing like
internet, which is
a
shit.
couple features, and once those get added, it's gonna be everything's gonna be way better and way easier to do. So
that's good to hear.
Basically, the one thing they're missing is the ability to stop execution when a register gets edited or read. And
Okay.
a register are the few bytes of memory inside the processor, so not RAM.
Oh.
You know how there's cache? That's basically the register. Not exactly, but
okay, basically. Similar idea.
Okay then.
Yeah,
I'll have a look.
that's very important for reverse engineering. That's basically the only reason why still the most useful emulator for debugging is the one on rumpacking.net from a billion years ago.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
It doesn't. It works, so it's just cumbersome to use.
Yeah.
And it would be, and the new one even has a disassembler, like real-time disassembly.
Oh wow.
Unfortunately, I can't use it because my CPU is too old. But that's a really cool feature as well.
Oh, come on.
I get it. When I backdash back into a red door. So
oh yeah. I've been doing that a lot recently.
It happens when you jump between systems, I feel.
Yeah.
Because on Xbox, you're just so much faster to exit, and you're like, come on, let's go. I have a visual cue, but sometimes I'm lazy and I don't actually use it.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so mad and bad.
Fucking sucks.
Okay. Oh, I wonder actually. I think there was an optimization I could have done there, but it's probably not that big of a deal when everything is terrible. You guys are really holding on to this idea of an Indiana Jones X Castlevania game, and I don't why. I think it started with the idea of like, is there an Indiana Jones PlayStation game? Is that why we brought this up as like a multi-world idea? Or did we just say Indiana Jones? I wasn't honestly looking at chat when it happened, but they've been talking about Indiana Jones for like 15 minutes.
speaking of Indiana Jones, I don't know if anyone of you has played this game, but there used to be this 3D Indiana Jones game that used to look like the earlier Tomb Raider games, called it the Infernal Machine. Does that ring a bell at all?
I have no clue. Maybe that's what these guys are talking about.
That game was the shit, man.
Is chat at DB's chat? Is the first Soul Reaver on PlayStation or is it later? Is it PS2?
Soul Reaver sounds familiar as a PlayStation game, but I could be wrong.
If it's on PlayStation, that might fit with SotN because it's kind of a Metroidvania.
It is. Serial Masticator says yes, it is PlayStation 1. It's PC/PS1. There's a lot of PS1 games that had PC releases that I never knew about until recently. They're like really old, like Windows, like 2000. Windows
there's
99.
even some PC games that ended up being ported to PlayStation.
Yeah, true.
Like
Doom.
Fucking Quake, yeah.
Yeah, Quake and Doom had PS1 ports.
Probably, I mean, all the LucasArts games, probably. I'm guessing they had ports. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Maybe. Some of them definitely don't, because at the time, if I remember correctly, LucasArts made like a bajillion different games. One of which that I know of definitely maybe it does have a PC port and I should look it up. But it's called Ball Blazers. It's basically Rocket League before Rocket League.
No, I'm talking about the adventure games.
Yeah, those are different. For sure. Am I dead here? No, I'm not. Okay. That was way riskier than it needed to be. Ball Blazers. Did anybody else play Ball Blazers as a kid? No, just me. Okay, cool. It ran at like 5 FPS, but it was full 3D, futuristic soccer car video game. Suck my whole. I should have known.
Oh.
That was some Daigon moment.
God damn it. The thing is I wasn't paying attention, and I just had the realization of like this is literally like the only way it could have been done. You goddamn stupid idiot. Well, maybe not. There is technically another option that could have happened here, but god damn it. It makes me stupid.
I just got the sickest mana refill ever. Like, well, second sickest.
Oh, so you're cheating. Okay.
Yes.
So, ban ASD.
With pride.
This is why you're banned from my tournament.
No! Fuck! Dude, I thought I was big braining this shit. Damn.
Dead?
No, I thought I was like reading through the seats bullshit, but no!
Definitely last.
Oh, I did it again. Anyway, well, it's fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Yes, Anakage, I did do that.
So if you're wondering what I was thinking of in chat was, I thought Merman statue was going to be Echo, and I was going to skip it. Yo, Doozy, what's up?
Bro, what the fuck is this seed? Holy crap.
But it turned out to be Grand Falloon. I thought, This is what happens when you're rusty. That means I have to check Merman statue because...
Like, what are the main modes of progression in Aria? It's like underwater, overwater, walking, and what?
Oh no, this is great actually. This is great because
through
Merman statue is going to be holy glass.
You also need to be able to slide to get under certain objects.
No, wait.
Bat can also fit into areas where you can slide.
I don't even know what I'm saying.
And is there anything else?
And just the final 3? Is that
the souls and the books related to those souls.
Dude, I used to be good at like guessing the seats Logic,
you
but-
also need a charging soul as well. Like one of the rush souls, because that gives you access to the secret area with the waterfall, behind the waterfall, in combination with the what's it called? The other one.
So the castle in Ara is like way more open.
Yeah, it's insanely open. Yeah, especially if you use the decoupled entrances and stuff like that. Wow, I'm good at this game for once. What did I? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so holy glasses.
Yeah, Aria is pretty straightforward.
Which means mana
Also, I guess
that was probably
technically,
nothing.
very, very early on, you need to give progress for flying armor or the other soul, Black Panther. Because like the very first obstacle requires that you like fall slightly slower right after fighting Creaking Skull.
I forgot which room I'm in. Fuck me.
That was sick.
Yo, thanks for the kind words, Nort. I appreciate it.
I don't know why. Nice.
Bro, the seed is wild. If you gave me 100 guesses as to where some of these items would have been, I would have been wrong every time.
It's been extremely linear for me, but I don't think that's gonna be helpful in the end.
No.
So that's why I was yelling at myself earlier, because I thought I knew what the seed wanted, but then... He
Oh
gave
yeah,
me
this
the...
is safe base.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Complexity 8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter, really, actually.
That is kind of the nice thing about safe is, or just a medium to high complexity is you kind of don't have to think about it. It kind of works itself out most of the time until like the very end.
Until we play this seed, everything changes.
I don't actually know how to do this. Fuck it. I should have, yeah, I shouldn't have experimented like that. When I don't actually know how to do it. It makes sense now that I did it. So I fucked up,
Yeah.
but-
There was a point that I was going to bring up at some point about I think a lot of the discussion in the Discord about like quote unquote gambling and whatnot for casual and whatnot, I think is a lot of people don't know what they're talking about, or they're conflating a lot of different ideas together.
Well,
Because
yeah, it obviously the points got completely mixed up. All of it got.
yeah, it felt like people just wanted to like talk past each other and explain their unique viewpoint or whatever, and then completely ignore other viewpoints, and then didn't try and keep context in mind. It was kind of a shit show.
Nothing productive, yeah, until yesterday night. Or for me,
Yeah.
when the suggestions actually started coming.
Yeah, that was something that I did wish would have came earlier. But I think what a lot of people don't realize about the I've never been super opposed to the idea of skipping checks and stuff like that. Like even halfway through like the qualifiers, I even started like experimenting with like early second castle routes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I think it makes sense in some regard where you just accept that you have a like 15% chance to just instantly lose, but you have an 85% chance to get such a massive lead that it's very, very difficult to lose. And I think
I mean,
that
yeah,
that was the
that's
strategy that
100% true.
a lot of people
Yeah.
went with. And I think Jupiter like super hard hammered down on that strategy, which most of the time will give you at least a lead in like a best of 3, if not just win you outright. Especially because if you win game 1, then you can go absolutely ape shit game 2 and still have a lifeline to not instantly lose. So it from a
But the
tournament
problem is
standpoint,
it
it makes a lot of sense.
escalated. That's the thing where I started being like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Because it in the final race, like
Yeah, it did escalate
it
very hard.
it got like triple,
Absurd.
double down. Like what the fuck was that? You guys
I think it
had,
makes
both of you guys did
sense.
like
I think it makes
multiple
sense that that was
Owens.
the end result because I had to play from a deficit, from being behind 1-0. So that's going to push me to do, at least from my perspective, it felt like, okay, I do have to gamble here, right? I have to start going for harder gambles in order to try and win out because I know that this guy
Yeah, but
has reckless abandon and doesn't care if there's a 15% chance to instantly
but
lose.
if you do the same thing as him, is it a gamble?
Exactly. I that's the thing, is it becomes kind of a
You would
mind
have won
game
if
in
you
that
just
way.
did the like normal thing. That's the thing.
Yes, but that's the issue, is I did the normal thing the first game and lost.
I mean,
So
I guess you
it's
didn't
hard to,
know
like,
that you were still
Exactly.
correct to do the normal thing in game 1.
Exactly. There's a lot
So-
of like I've said it many times, I think the way that Jupiter went about routing most of the time from a just a pure like tournament performance perspective, it makes sense because it's I didn't do the exact math, but if you're skipping like 3 checks, let's say like creature, Beelzebub, and I don't know, like castle entrance every single race, that's 3 out of like how many checks are there total in the game, right? It probably evens out to close to 15% chance that one of those is a Vlad relic, or maybe even less than that. It might even be closer to like 10% chance. So you're just accepting like I have a 10% chance to lose versus I can save like a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there if I skip all of these. Granted, it's going to be
But
different from
you
seed
gotta
to
keep in
seed,
mind
and
that
that also is that's also part of the routing, is like figuring out what is the 1 or 2 things you want to skip per seed while also maintaining a lead. So overall, I think there is skill involved, and it is like when they're saying stuff like taking calculated risks, I get where they're coming from, but I think a lot of people just see it as like just skip whatever and win, which I don't think was like even close to the.
I mean,
play.
it was obvious because when Fire played and he skipped half of the video game, it's obvious then. Yeah, yeah. On paper, every one of those should probably be nothing, but
The issue is
like,
you can't do that for
that's
every check.
stupid because you eliminate like
With
you
every
lose on
check
every
you
scenario
skip,
except when you
yeah.
get lucky. So
Exactly. Every check that you skip is increasing the likelihood that you instantly lose while only increasing your likelihood of gaining a small lead a little bit, right?
Yeah.
and it's
So I think there
multiplying
is.
It's not just adding to the risk. That's the
Yeah,
the
exactly.
big thing that I don't see it.
I get it. Like, skipping caverns is one of the things that I should have done in my race versus Jupiter on the first one. That was one thing where I was incredibly greedy to be like, force myself into a situation where I spend an extra 3 to 4 minutes on 2 checks when there are faster checks if I just go to the second castle immediately.
Yeah, I mean, you shook your head immediately.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, he knows he shouldn't be here.
But then it's one of those things where I can't, like, sunk cost fallacy, kind of.
Yep.
Like, I can't just back out now because now these checks are closer than anything else that I could do. And they now have an equally likelihood of being the last Vlad relic or whatever, so. The same discourse came out after my match with Lunix in the Aria randomizer that both of us passed like 10 minutes guessing one of the souls needed for the good ending. Oh, yeah, I saw that kind of come up in the last race too, where Lunix was just guessing to find the last because they were missing one of the books, so they just started guessing different souls to finish the game. Which I don't think they're necessarily super comparable, like guessing souls versus skipping checks. But it's kind of a similar idea in a way. It shares some similarities.
I mean, it sounds like that's like super desperation mode.
Yeah, I feel like you only do that if you are very, very desperate, or if you're trying to claim a huge advantage somehow. Right? Like doing it
'Cause I
game
feel like-
one, I feel like is fair if you feel like you're at the disadvantage, seeding wise or matchup wise. But if you're doing it game two, then you're just desperate, right?
I don't know. I might be just I am biased for sure, but I feel like unless like if you feel like your route has been going well and that you made the right decisions routing, then making a big gamble seems really counterintuitive. Oh, I guess that's what's cool.
You have the travel movement time consideration per number of checks versus the growing probability that one of those skips will be important relic. Yeah, exactly. That's a calculation that I think a lot of people just either didn't want to deal with, so they just skipped everything. Which, to be fair, there's no way to approximate that math in your head, right? It comes down to game sense and feeling a lot of the time in that regard, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's very difficult to back that kind of play style. Funny enough, a similar thing can even happen in safe logic with like a higher complexity, where you do a bunch of complexity shit at the beginning, and then the final relic is in the fucking second castle, and you have the same exact fucking problem, where it's guess for game. So it's not like this is like a problem that can ever be fully solved. The only thing that I think could solve it is the idea of doing an all bosses as a alternate win condition, because then at the very least you're always making progress if you're killing bosses, which is required for most of the checks anyway, since we do guarded logic. So
It's kind of bypassing the idea of a randomizer.
not really, because the items are still randomized, the relics are still randomized, the route you take is still random. So I think it's still within the spirit of it. But also, I'm just the idea. I just want to test it out. Nothing's like set in stone for trying to make new presets. I think one of the things that Batmaster has shown us is that coming up with an idea, testing it, and then just not revising it much, because it was revised like 2 or 3 times, right?
More than that. It was.
Yeah, actually, MT wanted to make a lot more changes to that master, but I just since it didn't achieve what I wanted it to achieve, I just
kind of dropped it.
Forgot about it. Yeah.
That's fair. But yeah, like either not creating other presets to like in the future afterwards, or just leaving presets to kind of just like not be updated. Like for example, speedrun as a preset. That shit is dead. It's the deadest preset I've ever seen in my life. Nobody wants to play that shit.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that would be a great preset to be like, hey, maybe we should update it to make it more enjoyable while also retaining the spirit of the preset in the first place.
Yeah, I don't think Mouse will be against that either.
Yeah, especially if somebody else was just like, hey, I did all the work, what it is. Yeah, in general, I think the idea of updating presets over time is fair. It's kind of like everybody like, oh, we can't just arbitrarily change things because to make it more or less random. And it's like, why do we have presets in the first place?
Yeah,
because we arbitrarily wanted to change things to make them either.
Here's one thing I realized: people really have some really big misconceptions about how the randomizer works.
Yeah. I think people have a lot of misconceptions about
everything's fucking pure chaos random. There's so many things.
I think a lot of people have a misconception on like how to communicate logically to other people.
I mean, yeah.
But outside of that, yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't exclude myself from that either. But oh shit! Don't die.
I almost died too.
I wasn't almost dead, but I did take damage as soon as you said that, so I guess we're all doing the same thing.
I mean, it's weird that at the end of all of it, the last couple of things I read today was that people love casual and Battle OG is already done for. So that's I don't get it.
I don't think that's true. I
No.
think people
mean-
like casual because it's been so played and so watched because of all the tournaments that have featured it. I think if we showcase high-level gameplay of any of the presets, people will enjoy them.
Yeah, agreed.
I think a lot of people got into the randomizer either through my tournament with Tran Casual or recently, which casual has been played a lot because of that.
Yeah, because how
Or
many of
people-
the OG players are still around? Like none of them. Trax
not
is
very many.
gone. Ben
Not
is
many.
gone.
Yeah. It's like,
most of them are stuck in WoW now.
yeah, most of them play WoW.
Classic WoW killed randomizer.
Yeah, even Daigon started like season 2. I know you started around season 2-ish ASD.
Yeah, right before the beginning of season 2.
Yeah. I think that's where most people either came in or
Oh, time.
GG's.
Nice.
Wow. Time.
Oh, you
GG.
bastard.
One menu.
Time.
No way!
What
That's
the fuck?
That's ridiculous.
Ah. All within like 10 seconds of each other.
Amazing.
Very close race. Dude, if you
Wait,
guys weren't watching on the
7?
multi-stream.
7 and then how much is that?
14.
5.
Yeah, 5 seconds apart.
That's ridiculous.
That's one like minor menu, one decision, one
Oh yeah.
dropping of 100%.
100%. Oh yeah.
Jesus.
See, if every tournament match was like that.
I mean, here's the
Yeah.
thing, the tournament overall, I think all the matches were awesome.
Oh yeah, I think everybody's very accurate in saying that casual is a great like thing to watch. It's just if that's the only thing you're playing, I think it's very, very draining.
2 tournaments.
so-
we grinded that
Yeah.
shit for
The thing
a month, both years. Like that's ridiculous.
that's the
Yep.
thing. The thing about casual is we've overplayed it, and even if the audience
Yeah.
likes it, we players we don't like it. I think.
Yeah, I think
The audience
the
doesn't even understand what we're like. They'll watch any good rando
Yeah.
tournament. They
Yeah.
don't care.
I'm hoping that this counter-picking system thing has legs, and maybe people decide to use that more often in the future as well, because I think that could help a lot with. Granted, that's kind of like a system that I came up with to help mitigate the fact that we don't have a tournament preset to begin with, and maybe just a tournament preset could help fix some issues. Maybe multiple viable tournament presets is also an option. Who knows? It's all going to come down to if people make new presets or not, basically.
Yeah.
So wait, question.
What's
did you
up?
go? Did you guys go to a Coliseum immediately?
I
No.
couldn't because I failed a death skip, which means I had to like go back and then do it.
Oh wow,
So I couldn't go there
that's
first.
funny. That probably benefited you.
I'm glad you're all
Oh really? But
I'm trying to think.
I mean, I
What did
guess.
I do?
Tis my fault you had to fight.
I
I
think
did
I
the
went.
full circle.
I went outer
Fear
wall
not.
first.
Yeah, me too.
Interesting. It just
I went
all
outer
converged.
wall.
Must have been painful
I went
for
outer
you.
wall, and then I
Indeed.
think I went Coliseum
But you
second,
must
and then went up through
always
Chapel
remember
to Castle
that the
Keep.
only thing necessary for evil to
So I
triumph
guess my
is
route
for
was
good
definitely the
to
best.
do
So I
nothing.
really fucked up somewhere. Did you
I
guys full clear
understand.
first castle?
Yep.
Because I did.
I believe
will
so.
you
I
do
save
now?
split for
blood
or for
that
Holy
flows in my
Symbol
veins is
near.
I should have done that.
Twould
I should have done that.
Cerberus.
for this
Yeah.
world if
I just
were
used
to
the library
disappear
card.
forever.
So the thing I was confused about,
Later.
or actually mad about, was the fact that I thought Merman's statue was gonna be Echo, and Grand Falloon was gonna be either a flat relic or nothing. So in my head, like
Want to go after
skipping
him, Maria?
Holy Symbol was like the
No,
play, but then
It's best this
Echo
way.
turned out to be
I can't
Grand
ease
Falloon,
this
which means I had to
torment.
check Holy
Someday,
Symbol. I couldn't just go to the
perhaps, we
second
will
castle
meet
without
again.
checking.
And
Ah,
on that
yeah.
day, maybe
I just when I don't have 4 Vlads, I don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it gets very, very tough to try and calculate the because at that point, like your next to last Vlad relic can be literally anywhere.
Yep.
So it's tough call. I wanted to check Spike Breaker first, but I was like, I'll check Grand Falloon first, and then I was like, oh, I should have just checked Spike Breaker first, and that would have given me more info. I feel like onto the like overall complexity of the seed. Because that was a Spike Breaker, right?
Yep.
Spike
Yes.
Breaker was vanilla. Yeah, that would have
Yep.
given me the info to just go straight to Silver Ring, pretty much. But yeah, again,
I
I
mean,
also
that
would have
was
been
the last one.
possibly skipping Vlad relics at that point as well. But oh well. It is funny that we all
What?
basically did different things and finishing at the same time.
Did all of us
Converging.
just use Iron Shield the whole time?
No, I found a
Chrysogrim.
Chrysogrim.
What?
Yeah.
It was in one
In
of
the
the
catacombs,
pots
yeah.
going towards Grand Falloon. Not pots, but one of the coffins with the red skeletons.
Oh, I just
Yeah.
wolf dash past all that.
I wolf dashed past it, saw the sprite, and I was like, I'll check it out, maybe. I should also wolf dash more in this preset. I was wing smashing everywhere, even when it probably would have been more MP efficient to wolf dash since it's a reduced cost.
I'm
That
guessing you
probably
guys
lost me a lot of time.
found enough money to buy 2 Vadas.
At the end, I did, yeah.
I had a diamond at the. Did
Did I put
went
them
full
on?
Circle.
I don't think I put my Vardas on after I bought them.
Nice.
I was only doing like 80 damage per hit. I had a fucking Ares that I found that I was wearing probably. Holy
yeah.
shit. I think that lost
Well.
me the race.
Yeah, probably.
That's funny.
I feel like I had the best route, but I messed up real bad somehow. Because going full circle was definitely beneficial because you had full flight with gravity boots and wolf.
Yeah, it's just awkward.
Yeah, but you still get to check everything.
That's fair. Oh yeah, because Gravity Boots was there, yeah. I got Leap Stone instead. And then, yeah, that limited my movement a decent amount. Yeah. Interesting seed. I'm excited to see more Lycanthrope in the future.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Really good preset. Anyways, I'm gonna go get some food. Getting hungry. So
Same.
yeah, thank you for the race. It's been super fun, and I'll catch you next time.
Yeah, no worries.